We have Tenpai, we have Heroes, and we even have Blue Eyes White Dragon. Make sure you guys smash the little crap out of that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out more Oz content. I did not think I would see somebody coming through and playing Tenpai, but OTS Championship Weekend is always about the incredibly craziest list that you can see actually working out. This came out of actually Forever After Collectibles in Illinois, actually showcasing some of the brokenness with this. The fact we're doing 1 Chandra, 1 Fadra, 2 Genrokus, and triple Pydra, but your job is to be able to go second. Now, in order to go second, we're going to have Thrust, which actually gets us into Illusion Gate. I'm more happy to see Illusion Gate actually showing up in a list like this and doing its job. Now, you know, the rest of this is just going to kind of turn into extremely strong board breakers, just so we can kind of get set up and go. I also see, Area 0, Kagari? This is kind of interesting, as would technically pull you into an engage and kind of get some set up, which is actually kind of cool. I also see we're side decking a Fallen of White and triple copies of Ecclesia. The fact that this turns into, you know, basically a setup into the Albion, so you can kind of get some initial setup is kind of good. Also see we're playing the Vices here, which also is kind of interesting. I don't know. There's a lot going on with this list that is definitely interesting, and I kind of appreciate it. Also, you're telling me Tenpai is now playing Gravity Collapse. I actually kind of appreciate just the tempo of what you're trying to do with this list. Also, 2 Impulse might feel a little bit weird. I can definitely kind of agree with that. Having the 3rd would have been nice, but I mean, they're also kind of setting up for the Mana Dia reframing here. So, you know, you take all of the tool sets that you've got for a list, fine tune it, and you're going to end up coming down to this beauty. Next up here, we have Heroes. The fact that, you know, we're in OTS weekend and we're looking at a decent amount of challengers to be seeing in the meta, I'm not surprised to see Heroes, you know, doing well. There's still an argument to be made right now with the current hero list as to what the quote-unquote optimized ratios are going to be. You know, you kind of got to figure out, you know, do I truly want to have, like, the adjusted gold? Like, can I support things like Adjusted Gold and Dead End Prison within the hero deck? You know, how many Vision Hero Forests do I need to build into the deck to, you know, get some optimized ratios to work? Because I've seen 2s and I've seen 1s on some of these ratios, and I think this list tried to balance it about as correctly as you're going to get. I can't really say that, you know, I'm initially surprised to see the numbers that we've got going here, but I think we're doing pretty decent. You're also still only going to play 1 Mass Change. Unfortunately, you know, you don't really get to optimize and go a little bit crazy with this card. Though we're still doing 2 Dark Laws in this. You still have a lot of dedication to the extra heroes. You've also got to remember Wonder Driver's able to kind of toggle back some of your pieces for you. And that's kind of an important thing, right? Like, you need your resources to go. It's just, man, 5 Link monsters in a deck that wants to be able to quote-unquote do fusions is just so crazy to think about. But this is the current hero pile. And I mean, keep in mind, do you see the Atomic in here? I don't. It's kind of sad, actually, because, like, Atomic is a really, really cool card, and I do appreciate what he's supposed to add to the pool of things, but, like, it just doesn't have the synergy with the current build to really make things stand out. Next up is Sonny's Kaiba Man Blue Eyes Special. First of all, what a madman. Sticking 60 cards into the existing hero deck, or the existing Blue Eyes deck, and you actually got this to work. I'm actually more impressed with that. Now, some of the tools that we do get in here that are going to feel a little bit out of place, We are playing Triple Wanted in here, which is going to give us access to the Dark Magician. And then, of course, you know, we get access to the Glizzy of Timaeus, which turns into the Red Eyes Dark Dragoon, which is going to give you that little power boss option to kind of help you stand on the end board, which is fine. You have to, as much as I love Blue Eyes, I want to be like, yes, this deck is incredibly strong. You kind of have to have that end board piece to make sure that you just don't get blown out. Like, you have to have some sort of good consistency. Also, surprisingly enough, we're getting away with playing the Dragon Master Magia in here with this as well, which is kind of interesting, actually. Now, remember, you can make Magia with Chaos Max plus the Ultimate Dragon. It's actually kind of why you choose to play this. In the off chance, you know, you do get the big payoff here, and you're kind of able to go. But I can see why Sonny was able to bring this all together. I mean, you have the Horror stuff of Bridges with the Diabell Star stuff. As long as you can see a quote-unquote big spellcaster monster, you're going to be able to pivot into any of the essential combo lines that I think this deck wants to be having access to, and that's just fine. All right, shout out to the Maiden still being a 3 of. It's also crazy to me that we optimized on triple Blue Eyes, but I mean, you have to because you're playing Kaiba Man. You know, play the extra bricks. It's just 60 cards. You won't brick. Next up here, we have Orcust. Now, Orcust has been, especially pure Orcust, I'm actually way more surprised to see a pure variant actually doing well right now, because most of the time now it's turned into Orcust plus friends. You know, you think that this deck is going to be able to do decently well with the extra tool sets, and especially being able to have the Dark Magician of Destruction as an extra tool to play into the deck really just does feel that good. You know, I'm very surprised to see more of these lists are just kind of stepping away from that, which, I mean, come on, do we really not want to see that? Now, for the pure variant, you do get some tools that are a little bit more unique to it. I do see we are playing the Gizmek Orochi, which sometimes I do like Orochi. I do feel like if this card does kind of get to stick around, it does get some kind of nasty board control, especially, you know, when you can start banishing things from your extra deck to start eating through, you know, options from the opponent. Well, you know, you kind of do get a little bit more of the unique tool set with that. And of course, we do get access to the NT Sirius. Sirius does get a little bit serious. I know I had to say it. When it comes to the initial deck setup, which I do think kind of helps. It's also kind of interesting. We're doing only 2 Impulse in here. We are playing the World Legacy Succession. I do think Succession's not a terrible card in a list like this. It is able to, you know, kind of get the extra little free body back onto the field, so you can kind of keep up the control aspect of what your deck needs to be doing. So I can understand why we're actually choosing to play this. It's not my favorite tack choice in the world. We've also got 2 Fallen and Virtuous in here as well. Best broken generic card we've seen in ages. Next up here, we have Cool Tunes. One consistent thing I've got to give all of these Cool Tune variants is, you know, the deck is actually doing decently well right now. And I think a lot of that's got to do with, look how many hand traps this list is playing, man. You have 14, 17 hand traps built into this. You've got 2, you know, Fallen and Virtuous to be able to kind of bring up on the callback here if you need to be able to kind of push through and do some other stuff. So, I mean, like, you've got a decent amount of tools. You've also got the extra Fallen and Virtuous down here in the side deck if you really need it. You've got Perulias in the side deck as well, like if you want to go to 20 hand traps. It's already freaking crazy, and actually, I lied. You have triple clip in here too, which allows you to be able to come up during the opponent's turn. You could technically, in theory, side into 23 hand traps to be able to play against the opponent. You know how ridiculous that is to think about? That Cool Tunes is one of the few decks that has enough build-up and enough momentum to be able to get away with that. Truly is something crazy. Also, going with the triple synchro overtaken here, which is good. I don't have a problem with this main deck. This main deck looks about as crazy as it's going to get because those are just the tools that, you know, we're kind of expecting within the current meta to be able to do things. So, congratulations to everybody here out of the OTS weekend, really bringing in some interesting challengers to the meta. I like the differences that we're seeing in some of these lists, and I mean, it's looking pretty good. So leave a comment down below, tell me what you guys think. I'll see your beautiful faces back later in the day, guys. Patrons, thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.